high fat, high salt, high sugar. Look at your kitchen right now and I guarantee you that you have some foods that are designed to kill you.
Have you been spending lots of extra money on something you thought was a superfood, eating it or drinking it every day because you think somehow it's magically going to improve your health?
What if I told you that someone big and powerful plotted this whole scheme to keep you fat and sick until you die?
Dozens of people have ended up in the hospital with possible cases of E. coli.
People reported getting sick, being hospitalized for liver dysfunction, and even having their gallbladders removed in some cases.
The affected region is Yuma, Arizona.
Whose advantage is it to keep the public confused about what to eat? Well, obviously, it's the food industry's advantage.
But what if a company wants the positive PR of going healthy, but doesn't want the hassle of actually improving the product? Well, there's a solution for them too.
One of the things that food companies do is they partner with health organizations, the American Heart Association, the American Diabetes Association, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. And the idea is if you can donate to those organizations and support those organizations, then the organizations will thank you on their products. And they will say, you know, a partner of or whatever, and this makes it look like it's an endorsement of the products.
Kale, once a forgettable garnish decorating steakhouse plates, now worshipped as the king of superfoods.
MVP of greens, it is King Kale.
Because it's one of the most nutritious vegetables.
I knew kale before it was kale.
Green smoothies, kale chips, powders promising to detox your body and keep you young forever.
Kale.
Kale. Kale. Kale. Kale.
Kale. Kale.
But what if kale and other so-called superfoods aren't the miracle we've been told?
We hear the term everywhere. We see it on advertising. Someone, somewhere, being bombarded with the latest superfood trend.
What if they're hiding compounds that block nutrients, irritate your gut, and could even harm your health in the long run?
Ultra-processed foods make up over half of the American diet, and the food industry is terrified. Even if Americans skip one ultra-processed snack or meal a day, sales would plummet by 7%.
From kale to quinoa to acai, the superfood craze has turned humble plants into billion-dollar trends. But here's the truth. Not everything wearing the label super is actually good for you. Not long ago, kale was a joke. In the 1990s, Pizza Hut was actually the largest buyer of kale in America because they used it to decorate their salad bars. That's right, kale wasn't eaten. It was background decoration. But then, something changed. In the 2000s, celebrities and wellness gurus began praising kale as a miracle food, claiming it could prevent cancer, detox the body, and even keep you young.
Back early in the 1900s, the United Fruit Company was just starting to really import into the United States, and they tried to talk about how convenient they were. They tried to talk about how easy they were to eat. That didn't really catch on. So then they started paying doctors and medical organizations like the American Medical Association to say that they were so nutrient dense that they were a superfood.
Overnight, kale went from garnish to godlike. Kale chips filled supermarket shelves. Green juices became a status symbol. The forgotten leaf became a billion-dollar brand. Kale does have nutrients, vitamins A, C, and K, antioxidants, and fiber. But here's the catch. Those same vitamins can also be found in foods like liver, eggs, and red meat, often in forms your body absorbs more easily. Meanwhile, kale comes loaded with oxalates, compounds that block calcium absorption and can trigger kidney stones in sensitive people. Eating kale every day doesn't just fail to detox you. It may actually overload your system with substances your body struggles to process. So the vegetable once tossed on plates just to make food look pretty may never have deserved its crown as a superfood at all, because what looks like green gold on the outside may be stealing more from your body than it gives. In the early 20th century, spinach became a cultural icon thanks to one sailor with oversized forearms, Popeye. Kids were told if they ate their spinach, they'd grow strong and unstoppable. Spinach sales skyrocketed. It was branded as the ultimate source of iron. But here's the twist. That iron claim, it was based on a mistake. Early scientists miscalculated the iron content in spinach by a factor of 10. For decades, people believed spinach was packed with muscle-building power, when in reality, most of its iron isn't even absorbed by the body. Spinach does contain iron, but it also contains high levels of oxalates, just like kale. Oxalates bind to minerals like calcium and iron, making them difficult for the body to use. So while spinach looks powerful on paper, much of its nutrition never makes it past your digestive system. Meanwhile, foods like beef or liver provide iron in a far more bioavailable form, meaning your body actually absorbs it. So Popeye's secret weapon wasn't really spinach. It was clever marketing mixed with a math error. And the real power food for iron? Not a leafy green at all, but a juicy steak. Scroll through Instagram and you'll see them everywhere. Bright purple smoothie bowls, sprinkled with coconut flakes, chia seeds, and fruit.
To those of us chased by our fears, never second guess. You are more powerful than you think. You are super strong. You have the power. Acai, a superfood concentrate made from acai berries, packed with powerful antioxidants.
Acai was sold as the ultimate exotic superfood. Straight from the Amazon rainforest, it was marketed as an antioxidant powerhouse that could melt fat, fight aging, and protect against disease. Celebrities called it magic in a bowl. Health magazines crowned it the miracle berry. And the price tag? Sky high.
One of the most trendy and, depending on your taste buds, delicious products to come out of Brazil is smaller than a grape, but it packs quite the nutritious punch, and better yet, it's perfectly sustainable.
It may be delicious and good for you. It isn't cheap.
Acai berries do contain antioxidants, like anthocyanins, the same compounds found in blueberries, grapes, and red wine. But here's the catch. Most of the acai you see in stores isn't fresh. It's pasteurized, frozen, and blended with added sugar to make it palatable. By the time it hits your bowl, the antioxidant boost isn't much different from eating regular fruit, except it costs 10 times more. So while acai was marketed as an Amazonian miracle, what most people are really buying is an overpriced, sugar-packed smoothie. The berry may be exotic, but the scam? That's universal. Not too long ago, most people had never heard of quinoa. It was grown quietly in the Andes, a staple for local farmers. But then the West discovered it, and overnight, quinoa was labeled an ancient supergrain. Gluten-free, protein-rich, loaded with fiber, it was sold as the perfect health food for modern life. Suddenly, it was on every menu, every supermarket shelf, and every health blog. Here's the truth. Quinoa is high in protein compared to other grains, and it contains all 9 essential amino acids. But the catch? So do eggs, dairy, and meat, and informs your body absorbs much more efficiently. Quinoa also contains saponins, bitter-tasting compounds that can irritate the gut if not washed properly. And the global craze has had consequences. Prices skyrocketed, making it harder for farmers in Peru and Bolivia to afford their own staple crop. So while quinoa was sold as the grain of the gods, it's really just another carbohydrate. No more super than rice, oats, or potatoes. The biggest thing quinoa has fueled isn't your body. It's the wallets of the wellness industry. Superfoods aren't just about health. They're about business. When kale became the face of clean eating, it wasn't small farmers cashing in. It was packaged salad giants like Fresh Express, a subsidiary of Chiquita Brands International, and Taylor Farms. turning humble leaves into billion-dollar bagged produce lines. Spinach? Same story. Companies like Birdseye and Green Giant mass-produced frozen spinach, slapping Superfood on the label and selling the same product for a premium. Then came the exotics. Acai exploded thanks to companies like Sambazon, which built an empire exporting frozen pulp to the US wellness market, where a fruit once eaten daily in Brazil became a $12 smoothie bowl in Los Angeles. Quinoa? Global demand surged so fast that agribusiness giants and upscale grocers like Whole Foods Market capitalized on the craze, while indigenous farmers in Peru and Bolivia were priced out of their own staple food. The so-called superfood industry is now worth over $140 billion globally. But here's the dark truth. Most of that money doesn't go to the communities that grew these foods for centuries. It goes to multinational corporations, food conglomerates, and health brands that repackage everyday produce as miracle cures. In other words, you're not paying for nutrients, you're paying for marketing. So here's the truth. Kale, spinach, acai, quinoa, they're not magic. They're just plants. With nutrients, yes, but also downsides. The miracle wasn't in the food, it was in the marketing. What started as garnish and grain turned into billion-dollar empires, while you were told your health depended on them. But the real nutrients your body needs? You can find them in everyday foods. Meats, eggs, vegetables, fruits. Without the hype, without the price tag, and without the marketing machine whispering in your ear. Whole, natural foods, unprocessed and eaten in variety, do more for your body than any single trendy ingredient ever could. That's what science shows us time and time again. So the next time you see the word superfood slapped on a label, remember, it isn't about making you healthy. It's about making them rich. The question is, will you still buy the illusion, or will you start buying the truth?